It was a hard-fought battle on Memorial Day in the East Bay. A pitcher's duel between the A's and the Rays. No runs through 12 innings until the Rays scored a lone run in the 13th as they took Game 1 in dramatic fashion. The A's pitching has been outstanding since Saturday, allowing only 2 runs over 3 games. And tonight, Daniel Gossett looks to continue the trend as he takes on a scrappy Rays team in Game 2 of the series. A's, Rays, next. Well, after a long day yesterday, back to work tonight for the A's and the Rays. Game 2 of the series, the pitching matchup. Young left-hander Blake Snell for the Rays, and Daniel Gossett is going to pitch for the Athletics. It's the Oakland A's and the Tampa Bay Rays coming up on NBC Sports California, powered by Xfinity. Hi again, everybody. Welcome to Oakland A's Baseball. I'm Glenn Kuiper along with Ray Fosse, and we hope you enjoy tonight's game. The A's pitching staff has been on a nice little roll, Ray. It started with Migden on Saturday, then it went to Montas and Cahill, so the starters have done their job.
You know, we always talk about how each pitcher feeds off the other. Well, let's hope tonight that's with Gossett, but you see what these guys have done over the weekend. Frankie Montas, right in the middle, has done an outstanding job being recalled from AAA. He made the start, probably put himself in the rotation, and in what Trevor Cahill did yesterday, 8 solid innings. He had the strikeouts as well as the ground ball is working. Second start for Daniel Gossett since returning from AAA. He did an outstanding job against the Mariners. How about just 1 run? That was when the infield was in. So he's changed everything, throwing a very good fastball. He said it's slowing down everything, and if he pitches like he did against the Mariners, he's got a great chance tonight. And for the Rays, it'll be 25-year-old left-hander Blake Snell. He's having a very good season. To talk more about him, let's check in downstairs with Dallas Braden.
Yeah, Blake Snell has been nothing short of outstanding for the Tampa Bay Rays, guys. He has been dominant very early on. Strikeout rate is up. He is throwing strikes more frequently than he has over the course of his entire career. A 62% strike rate. That is, again, a career high. First pitch, 67%. Last 2 times out. He is dominant in the zone right now. He's got a new toy with that curveball that he's really increased the usage on. So for Blake Snell, first pitch strikes, early strikes, and the ability to put guys away with that breaking ball. Look for that out of Blake Snell.
All right, we'll see if the A's can get that offense rolling against Blake Snell. Game 2 of the series, it's the A's and the Rays. Coming up, we'll have lineups and first pitch right after this.
through every time. See your local Toyota dealer today. Toyota, let's go places. By Southwest Airlines, low fares, no hidden fees. That's transparency. And by Jack in the Box. Try the new Cholula Buttery Jack, part of the Buttery Jack family. Only at Jack in the Box.
So we're just about set for baseball here at the Coliseum. Game 2 of the 4-game series between the A's and the Tampa Bay Rays. So he's wearing the green tops tonight as Daniel Gossett takes them out. Let's look at the game time weather. It's presented by the Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk. Get to the beach. The admission-free boardwalk is open daily. Another nice night, 64 degrees, a little breezy tonight. As we close out the month of May, heading into June soon. Let's take a look at the lineup for the visiting Rays, brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Brad Miller is the first baseman, C.J. Cron the DH, then it's Wendell at second, Ramos the catcher, Duffy at third. Smith, Robertson, Gomez, and Field round out the Rays lineup.
Daniel Gossett, his second start since returning from AAA, and again, if he pitches anything like he did against the Seattle Mariners, it should be a good night if the A's can score him some runs. He is 0-2, making just his 4th start. Jonathan Lucroy's caught all 3. Bruce Maxwell behind the plate for the first time tonight.
And the first pitch of the game is fouled right at home plate by Brad Miller.
7:06.
So 7:06 first pitch here at the Coliseum. Brad Miller at 243 with 5 home runs, 18 RBIs. And there's a liner off the glove of Olson. It rolls down the right field line. Miller's going to get to first and stop there. So Matt Olson got a pretty good glove on it, but it tipped off his glove and trickled down the right field line.
Well, as aggressive as Miller is, and the timing, he had it, but off the tip of the glove, and a tall one as he is, just could not handle it. Thought he had it in his glove, but as we always say, between an outfielder's glove and first baseman's mitt, got to catch it in the pocket. He's looking, thinking he had it, did not. And fortunately, it's only a single for Miller.
Exmo brought to you by Cache Creek Casino Resort. Here's C.J. Cron. Cron, the designated hitter. Hitting .263 with 11 homers and 30 RBIs. Of course, a marathon game yesterday, won in 13 innings by the Rays, 1-0.
A duel.
A duel. 3 hours and 35 minutes, which is really not a ridiculously long game for 13 innings. Umpires tonight. Lance Barksdale is calling balls and strikes. Scott Berry, Carlos Torres, and Paul Nauert. Paul Nauert is the crew chief, and he did a pretty good job yesterday. 13 innings behind home plate. 2-0 the count to C.J. Cron. There was just 14 total hits in yesterday's game, 7 by each team.
Think about Daniel Mengden pitching in 2 hours and 15 minutes on Saturday. And yesterday, had it not gone extra innings, that might have been close also yesterday. A very quick game for 9 innings, but it did go 13. You start running out of scorebooks. Streets
almost did.
Yeah, you got to hope for an outcome, and unfortunately, it was a bad outcome for the A's.
I said 3:35. It was 3:55. That was the time of game. Defensively, got to get that right. Pinder, Cannon, Piscotty in the outfield. Chapman, Simeon, Barreto, and Olson on the infield. And Bruce Maxwell is catching. So Jonathan Lucroy caught all 13 innings yesterday. So that is why Bruce Maxwell is getting a start tonight, even though a left-hander is on the mound for the Rays. Cron pops one down the right field line. Olson a long run, but it's going to go just into the seats. So 2-2 the count. Well, tonight any 95-mile-per-hour fastball is our fast pitch, brought to you by Xfinity, the fastest Wi-Fi at home and on the go. So 2-2 to Crone with Joey Wendell, left-handed hitter, waiting in the on-deck circle. Breaking ball rolled foul. Rays in that tough AL East. They're right at the 500 mark at 26-26. But they have been playing well. They've won 3 in a row. They've won 10 out of 14. They're 10 games back, and the problem for them is the teams ahead of them, the Red Sox and the Yankees, have the 2 best records, not just in the American League, but the 2 best records in all of baseball.
Yeah, in baseball, and that's not going to be. There's not going to be much breathing room.
Chapman's got it. He's going to fire to second to get the out there, and Barreto on the exchange dropped it, so the out will remain an out at second base.
That's right. Barreto trying to make the turn over to first here on the ball from Matt Chapman. The hopper by Crone. See Miller darting down. Barreto just on the exchange. Probably didn't have a play over at first either way. See there, secures the out. That's just on the transfer there.
A slow hit ball like that, you're happy to get the lead runner, which Chapman did, and exactly right. I don't think they had a chance. Crone runs well, and considering how slow the ball was hit around the horn, a little bit difficult to get to.
Here's Joey Wendell, who takes a strike right on the outside corner. 284 for Wendell, a homer and 13 RBIs. Straightaway defense for Joey Wendell. The Rays are 15-13 on the road. Remember, they started this year 1-8. They ran into the Red Sox early. So since that start, the Rays have gone 25-18. So they have righted the ship, and they've done a good job with a very young roster.
We see Kevin Cash, the manager, leaning on the rail, and seems to be having a nice conversation with his coaching staff, but they're in a building mode. I mean, they know they're in a tough division, and if they can develop some good players, youngest manager in the major, 40, former catcher, that makes him brilliant. No, I didn't say that.
Absolutely. More action for Chapman. He's going to try for second again. The out there on to first, and Joey Wendell beat it out. A hard slide by Crone at second base.
Another good play by Matt Chapman to at least get the lead runner. A slow hit ball, tough to turn to. Wendell runs well, but good feed, and this time just really not much of an opportunity. Good play by Olsen on the back end at first to make sure the ball did not get past him as the ball bounced, came off the bag, and it's Franklin Barreto getting an opportunity on a couple of plays. This one with the hard slide, and again a good slide. Crone coming in. See, I grabbed the bag. You did not want to overslide towards left field. It's a no-no, and penalized for that.
So Wilson Ramos is the hitter. Ramos in the cleanup spot. Ramos did not play in yesterday's game. It's important for a second baseman, Ray. Get your legs out of the way.
Right.
Watch the left leg of Barreto. The left leg. You got to get it up in the air right after you throw it.
Yep.
Ow.
He didn't.
Well, and this is part of the rule change that baseball has gone through that, in my opinion, is resulting in lazier play around the bag, anticipating the runner to do his job. That's not always the case.
Yeah, second basemen are usually pretty good at protecting themselves because they've had to.
Right, and you think back to the play that happened between the New York Yankees and the Boston Red Sox. Tyler Austin goes into second with spikes high. Brock Holt didn't necessarily evade or get out of the way he might have if that play was still a possibility or potential to be taken out. Instead, he kind of lackadaisically gets off second base, ends up catching a spike, and now we got a big league fracas on our hands.
Hey, Ray, in the 70s, guys would just run right into the second baseman, right?
Put you in left field. And be getting a lot of high fives and got back in the dugout because you did your job.
Well, that was part of the game. You know, you hit into a ground ball, a fielder's choice like you have here. Your job now, if you're Joey Wendle, is to make sure that doesn't happen again. Obviously, 2 outs situation doesn't apply, but that's the best way you can make up for having not gotten the runner over, is take him out. Don't allow that double play to happen.
2-1 the count to Ramos. This one's hit in the air toward the right field corner. Piscotty has plenty of room, looking up into the sunshine. He's got it, and that will do it for the Rays. So hit nothing else, and going to work is Blake Snell. In the leadoff spot. Matt Chapman slides up to the 2 spot. Then Lowry's going to DH. Canna is your cleanup hitter tonight. Pinder left, Olsen at first, Piscotty in right, Franklin Barreto at second. Bruce Maxwell is the catcher.
Blake Snell on the mound for the Tampa Bay Rays. A couple of starts, still a no decision against the Athletics in those 2, 1 in 16, 1 in 17. Well, wearing the number 4. Probably maybe the lowest number I've ever seen with a starting pitcher wearing the number 4, but he is good. His record's won 6 games, and we showed in our open, good changeup.
Field, Smith, Gomez in the outfield. Duffy, Robertson, Wendell, Miller on the infield, and Ramos is the catcher. So Blake Snell set to take on the Athletics. First pitch is a little bit outside at 96 miles an hour. Dallas, in the open of our show, you talked about one of the reasons for Snell's success. Simple, throwing more strikes.
That's right. He has been in the zone more frequently than he has over the course of his entire career. And on 2 fronts. One, you're filling the strike zone up again. 62% strikes right now, career high. But first pitch strikes, 67%.
And he's got good stuff. So if he's throwing more strikes, that's going to make him a lot better.
Well, yeah, and the swinging strike rate is up on the slider. The strike rate is up on the slider. So there's a lot of different reasons early on for the success of Blake Snell. All of them seem to revolve around, oddly enough, throwing strikes.
His ERA of 2.78 is 8th best in the American League. There's that curveball that Simeon hits off the end of the bat.
See Ramos using the number 2, which is usually the curveball sign. 1 a fastball, 2 curve, 3 a slider, 4 a wiggle, a changeup. Changeup predominantly against the right-handers. Only Olsen. A lot of lefties to face him tonight because he is good. Maxwell, of course, as you mentioned, getting the start tonight. Lowry the switch hitter, but see how many changeup he does throw to the righties.
And there's a liner just fouled on the left field line. So this is the season for Snell. He's tied for 1st in the league in starts, tied for 6th in wins. There's the ERA. Opponent's batting average 195. The whip is good. 29.6% swings that miss.
That's a big deal.
Oh.
That's a big deal. You talk about deception when you start thinking about swing and miss. Life on the pitch.
Well, maybe a fastball now on 3-2 and hit a home run. Because he's got a good fastball. Simeon's seen enough of him.
Little pop up to shallow right. Gomez coming in. He's going to get there, and he's got it. So one away here in the bottom of the first inning, and then I'll bring up Matt Chapman.
There you go. You get a look at how he likes to go about his business. Set things up with the heater, the curveball, and changeup. Pretty much interchangeable depending on the swings he's getting, right or left, that sort of thing. But the slider as well, in my opinion, is a read off of the fastball. Are they late? Are they on it? Is it just enough? Is it something he wants to go to get him off that heater from the left side?
Here's Matt Chapman hitting .231, 8 homers, 22 RBIs. And it's a strike.
Yesterday talking about guys and kind of predictable fastball guys. I think Snell probably at least early in the game is going to use his fastball. Why not? He's throwing 97. But not much of a load by Marcus Semien to hit a fastball 3-2 on the ninth pitch he saw, which means he saw a lot of pitches. And I don't know if curveball that he hung hit down the left field line foul, if he's going to get that one again. But well, if there's ever a time to load up, look fastball, this has got to do it.
So 2-2 the count. Jed Lowry waits in the on-deck circle. That big curve. In the American League, Severino, Kluber, Verlander, Happ, and Morton all have 7 wins. And then Snell, Tanaka, McCullers, Porcello, and Carrasco all have 6 wins. And that one pops in and out of the glove of Ramos. So Snell looking to tie those 7-game winners tonight. 2 runs or fewer in 9 of his 11 starts. That's very good. Grounded to short. Scooped up by Robertson. Chapman's out. 2 outs.
Well, if nothing else, they've made it throw a lot of pitches. Both the hitters going 3-2, fouling off pitches, but so far a fly ball out and a ground ball out.
You know, one stat that caught my eye that I want to talk to you guys about here for Blake Snell, in 54 career starts, he has never hit a batter. So Foss, when you think about a guy who has never hit a batter in 54 career starts, for me that raises, I don't want to say it raises questions, but I start to pay attention to whether or not he's coming inside. Is he using the fastball inside? Is this something I can eliminate as far as location goes?
I think the first 2 hitters can, because they should have, because everything was outside, just missing. And I think the problem for the A's, if he starts nailing the outside corner at 96 to 97 with a fastball, it might be a pitch that he's going to rely on a lot throughout the game. But to your point, it's curveball more than anything coming inside. Or the time Ramos was setting up slider, curveball inside, everything else fastball and changeup away. But you know, also Dallas good because he doesn't face a lot of lefties. Olsen tonight, Maxwell tonight, but those are the arm side, as you say, you know, possibly could run a ball inside and hit him.
Toward right, Gomez playing over there, and well, that time that interesting alignment that the Rays have where Gomez plays very close to the line, that helped him get an out. Buddies for life.
Baseball 18 delivers an all-new franchise mode and much more. RBI Baseball 18 is available right now. Learn more at rbigame.com. Rated E for everyone.
Gossett back to work here in the second. Gave up a hit in the first, nothing else. He'll face Duffy, Smith, and Robertson. Duffy bounces it, just foul.
Looks like tonight it's a good idea to have a good third baseman.
That's a good point.
Matt Chapman has handled 2 already. Force outs at second. But it seems like the right-handed hitters are getting out in front of Gossett's pitches and rolling over them. Like that by Duffy.
So Duffy lines one to right. Duffy was hitless in yesterday's extra inning game, but he has a hit in his first at bat tonight.
Batting sixth position.
That's a pretty good swing on a pitch away from him.
Alex Smith.
If you go hitless, you're saying, I go 13 innings without a hit. I better go opposite field.
Well, he squared up a few balls yesterday pretty good.
Yep.
Just right at guys.
And here's Malik Smith, who had the big hit in the 13th inning, a 2-out RBI single. Overall, Smith at 297 with 12 RBIs. You got to be ready for him to bunt, and Matt Chapman knows that. He's in even with the bag.
You got to know also, and it's a good point, Kai, because as the third baseman, knowing the hitter has excellent speed, if he does bunt, you may just think 1 out, and that's to first base. And well, Smith, if he does bunt, might be bunting for a base hit. Just think about the runner at first, or getting the runner at first, being the hitter.
Smith has 13 infield hits. 10 of those 13 are bunt hits.
And with his speed, he should be bunting every time.
That's right. Once a game, at least.
At least that.
That's like second in the AL, I think, somewhere around there.
Yeah, the infield hit total of 13 is second in the AL.
Yeah, that's up there.
Well, this is that big hit yesterday.
That's right. Malik Smith delivers the blow here. Bullpen has been outstanding for Oakland. Hatcher, a part of that group here. Unfortunately left one up that Malik Smith was able to take advantage of. He's excited. Nobody in green and gold was. All part of that duel yesterday.
Strike on the inside corner, 93 miles an hour from Gossett.
Well, the Rays proved yesterday that you can get 3 2-out hits and end up scoring a run. Sometimes they're hard to do. It's hard to get that many in succession, but the Rays were able to do it with 2 outs and give Kevin Cash the winner.
Duffy's got a good lead at first. Inches off a little further. The ball's tapped to Gossett, who spins, fires a strike to second base on the first double play. Perfectly done by Gossett, Smith, or Gossett, excuse me, Gossett, Simeon, and Olson. So that's a double play.
Well, as a pitcher, you always know who's going to be covering, and when Daniel Gossett catches this ball knowing that it's a fast runner, he knew that it's going to be Simeon. Perfect chest-high throw on to first base, and you get a fast runner. It's a young man, Smith, trying to pull the outside pitch, but Daniel Gossett did it perfectly. And Dallas, I couldn't tell from here whether he was on the slope or actually kind of on the flat ground top of the mound, but he handled the throw perfectly to second base, which is exactly what you want to do as a pitcher.
Well, Foss, that's exactly what I was going to talk about, was in that situation, understanding you have a speedy runner at home plate, and where he received the ball was right on the plateau, right on the top of the mound. Usually if you have the opportunity, you'd like to clear yourself to one side or the other, find flat surface, but you'll see here this ball comes right back to Gossett, and he really just exchanges the weight on his foot. He takes the weight to his right foot, transfers, throws off the front, and he executes a beautiful throw. And that's exactly what you're looking for out of a pitcher. You get that ball back to you, nice easy throw over to second, clear yourself, find stable ground.
Well, it's also nice to know who you're going to be throwing to.
Yeah, that's right.
With no hesitation, because you know it's too bad you see guys like who's going to be covering, and that's why you know when to run it first who is going to be, so that you can throw knowing that's going to be Marcus Simeon. He gets the perfect throw and continues the double play. And speaking of Marcus Simeon, his defense, and again, you'd like to see his throws, and they seem to be chest high to Matt Olson, which is good. Pretty consistent throughout this year so far.
3-1 pitch is low, and Robertson has a walk, something he does a lot of. Yeah, Dallas, you talked about that yesterday, though, the fact that sometimes you see a pitcher come toward the slope of the mound out in front, maybe to field a bunt or something like that, and when you wheel and throw to second and you're throwing uphill, that makes it a difficult play.
Absolutely, you're throwing uphill. I mean, typically you'll see guys sometimes in their side work, they'll like to throw uphill to remind themselves to get out front and over the baseball, but not in that instance. You want to be on flat ground, be able to, if you can't even gain ground towards your target.
Gomez, who takes outside.
You know, interesting conversation with Trevor Cahill about, remember a couple of times he deflected one ball that was almost a base hit. Simeon or Larry, one of the two, made a very good play. But I said, do you know where your infielders are? He said, no. But he says, it doesn't matter if I know where they are or not, just because of my instinct. I want to try to catch everything, which, you know, does a pretty good job. But there are times that, you know, you could deflect a ball, and it almost happened yesterday where infielder cannot get it. But, you know, it's a good mindset to be able to finish and know that you're a fielder and try to get everything that is hit back towards you.
1-1 to Carlos Gomez, and he takes a mighty swing and fouls it back. So he was dealing. It was a ground ball machine yesterday, Trevor Cahill. Look at that ball sink.
It was a ground ball machine. He had the changeup working. He had the four-seam fastball away to righties working. He had the two-seamer back whip heater, bringing it back over the block against the righties working. He had the entire kitchen sink going.
19 of the 24 outs either on the ground or strikeouts. So very impressive for Trevor yesterday.
2-2 to Gomez.
Got to hear the longer rendition of White Rabbit because of the time they started.
Foul straight back, and be careful, Carlos. I don't want you to get hurt up there. Still got a couple more years to play in your career, and hate to see you get hurt.
Well, I think the best part about this, Ray, is probably the two-strike approach he's taken.
Yeah. Yeah, that, you know what that is? That's a 2017, 2018 two-strike approach.
That's right. It means I got one more left, right?
That's it. That's it.
Remember, he played with Adrian Beltre last year. Adrian doesn't get cheated either, but he's a little bit under control, a little bit more, 3,000 plus hits.
It's this one toward left. Pinder in and over. Pinder's got it, and that will do it for the Rays. A hit and a runner left. Bottom of the second coming up. Canna's going to lead it off. All right, here's our Lowe's whole team together. Talks about the A's against the AL East, where they've been good at 12-5 record, best record versus the East by any American League team. And the pitching's been very good, and that's interesting because the AL East, well known for some pretty good offenses. Red Sox, Yankees, Blue Jays. So 12-5 against the East. And of course, most of that was the road trip.
That's right.
Which was a 7-3 trip through New York, Boston, and Toronto. So far on this homestand, which is a 10-game homestand for the A's, they are 3-4. Overall, the A's 28-26, 6.5 back in the West. Keeping an eye on the Astros tonight, and they got a wild one going in New York. The Astros had a 5-3 lead in the bottom of the 9th inning, and Brett Gardner hit a 2-run homer for the Yankees to tie it. So it's now a 5-5 game in the 10th. The Astros and the Yankees. Mariners, they're winning again. They lead 3-1 early up at Safeco, and they are just 1 game back. Angels 5.5.
And it's amazing the progress they've made. I mean, you hate to beat a dead horse, but we know what they're missing, what they're lacking. No Robinson Cano, D. Gordon.
Can a linesman foul?
Felix Hernandez hasn't been himself.
Hey, but you save $11 million, you spend $11 million. You know, with 2 players that helped them. And that's exactly what they did in getting Colomé and is it Denard Span? Yeah. So that's 2 guys that one guy definitely helps back into the bullpen, back into the game. And Span just waiting.
Nasty curveball, and Canna strikes out. So that's the first strikeout for Blake Snell.
Well, they tried to go with the wrap action off of the fastball, meaning fastball, curveball, slider towards the back foot, kind of wrapping those first 2 pitches with the slider. They didn't get the fish to bite on that slider down, but they go backdoor with the curveball. Thinking Canna might have probably just gave up on that pitch.
Pinder swings over top. The best records in the major leagues. We mentioned the Red Sox. The Yankees are second. Astros and the Brewers are tied for the 3rd best record. And then it's the Mariners.
The Brew Crew starting to go.
35-20. 4.5 game lead in the National League Central for Milwaukee.
That's the best record in the National League as well.
Yep.
And our good friend Stephen Vogt doesn't get to enjoy it.
No, it's too bad.
It is too bad.
Although the Brewers did lose today.
Maybe Voter can be the inspirational man.
Well, I would say that's a strong possibility. 1-2 to Pinder, hitting .263 with 5 homers and 12 RBIs. And he bounces this one left side. Duffy's got it. Slings it across, and it's off of Miller's glove, and Pinder's going to be aboard. That's going to be an error on somebody. I don't think the ball was in the dirt.
No. I think it's all on Miller at first. Unless the ball sailed on him a little bit. Routine play. Good hustle by Pinder.
Batting in the 6th position.
Through a sinker.
First baseman, with 28,
And
Matt Olson.
I think
Yeah, it's an E3.
probably a good call. Yeah, he just missed it.
Just clanked it.
Turn the glove up. Palm up. Not the same as playing shortstop.
No. So that is the 23rd error of the year for the Rays. They have made the 3rd fewest errors, so generally they've been pretty good this year.
But it was a low throw, but still a very good handle. He could handle it. He just missed it, just off the tip of the first baseman's mitt. Fortunately, he deflected it enough that he kept it close enough so Pinder couldn't take the extra base.
Olson swings and misses, sort of. Kind of a half swing. Looked like he got about halfway through that swing and decided that swinging was not a great idea. It was a little bit too late at that point.
You know, if Matt Olson is starting against Blake Snell, that says a lot about what the skipper thinks about him, giving him a chance to play against lefties, especially somebody as good as Snell. His good fastball.
That's a good breaking ball. Like a Barry Zito breaking ball right there. Snapped in there right at the bottom of the strike zone.
Well, he's starting to utilize that fastball curveball combination. Heater up for a ball, drops that curveball down in. Good chance they go back to the heater.
Fastball is high, 96 miles an hour. Piscotty will be next for the A's here in the bottom of the second inning.
Now off that elevated fastball at 96, here comes Uncle Charlie to the party. Look for that curveball.
And he stayed with, I don't know what that was.
That's
a little
that
cutter maybe?
Yeah, that's that slider. Yeah,
87 miles per hour.
We talked about these guys starting to shape their pitches much like a golfer can shape their shots. And here he just adds a little more velocity to that slider. Doesn't want the loop or the two-plane pitch, that curveball. He understands Olson's been picking up that velocity on the fastball up in the zone. If he can pick up that arm speed, take a little off. 87 with a little bit of depth, slight wrinkle.
First pitch to Piscotty, down and away. So we've seen 96, we've seen 90, we've seen 87, we've seen 82. So
in other words, you can't figure him out.
pretty good variation on the miles per hour at least.
Yeah, if you're a hitter, you can't sit on a certain velocity for sure.
Piscotty at 227 and 3 home runs, 17 RBIs. Kept that one away a little bit, but right near the strike zone, and it's 1-1. .37 pitches for Blake Snell, so he's thrown a lot. Little bit outside. Good take by Piscotty.
And on the last road trip, A's hitters did a great job working the pitchers, and as a result got a few of the pitchers out of the game probably earlier than they expected. And Snell's got to be looking at the board now, knowing his pitch count starting to rise.
Missed again. 3-1.
Looks like he's just a little quick on the front side right now. Starting to miss arm side, or has repeatedly missed arm side. And typically if you're quick to the plate, you haven't given yourself time to catch up, that arm, that hand time to catch up and work on top of the baseball, finish out front.
That wiggles a changeup.
And at 91, it's low. So an error and a walk, 2 on, 2 out.
Well, if that was a changeup, I saw the wiggle from Ramos, which would indicate a changeup sign. But at 91, that's a little bit out of the question as far as that velocity anyway. So maybe, I don't know, it's an interesting sign given by Ramos. Maybe it's time for Franklin Barreto to come through. Looking for the first of everything for him, at least this season, and it's a chance tonight after an error and a walk. Put a couple of runners on.
First pitch to Barreto, and I thought you made a good point the last time we saw Barreto, Ray, is he looks different in the regular season games when he gets to the big leagues than he does in the spring training game. He looks great in spring training games.
Yeah.
He's hitting the ball to right center.
Uses the whole field, everything. He does a good job, and for some reason, regular season,
he looks a little jumpy at the plate.
Well, if that's the case, you want to try to trust your hands. And right now, it's a pretty good chance to do exactly that with Snell an opportunity for the Athletics, a gift, if you will, if he can come through with a hit. I mean, they didn't score yesterday for 13 innings.
That one hit hard, but to the shortstop. Out at second, and that will do it. So the A's get a couple of runners, an error and a walk, but they do not score. No score after 2. We said that quite a bit yesterday.
All day.
Said it for 12 and a half innings, unfortunately. So Johnny Field will lead it off. Field, and then the top of the order, Miller and Crone against Daniel Gossett. 34 pitches through the first 2 innings for Gossett. First pitch, a little cutter.
And that right there is a good sign. Not only the first pitch strike, but again, the off speed for strikes from Daniel Gossett. One of the biggest things he worked on down in Nashville with Rick Rodriguez, pitching coach. At the big league level, you have to be able to not only command your pitches, command all your pitches for strikes in and out of the zone. And that's one of the biggest steps you can take from 3A to the big league level.
Gossett was terrific in his last start. 7 innings on Wednesday here at the Coliseum. But he ended up losing 1-0 to the Seattle Mariners.
I think on this homestand, the A's have been shut out twice in those, that 1-0 both times.
Both times.
It's amazing to win 3 games against the Orioles, not hitting a lot, not scoring a lot, but got great pitching and just enough. One of those is shut out with a KD walk-off.
Well, that's the reason why he was so good in that last start. His first pitch strike percentage was 65%.
Makes all the difference in the world.
And a good pitch there on 3-2 off speed, and he gets his first strikeout.
Let's take a look at El Caballo Loco, the crazy horse. Now take a look here. I know it's a little blurry, but out there in right field, that white image you're seeing, that's Carlos Gomez. He's getting a pair of shades. You see there, he's got him strapped on for one of the outs he made. He's telling him, hold on, I got more up my sleeve. That's the 3rd out, the end of the inning, and he said, hey, I want to thank you for the glasses. Here's a game ball. Appreciate the love. How about that?
See, our fans are just so nice, they can't help themselves, right?
Even A's fans, you know.
They're very accommodating. I'll say this, guys, having played against Carlos Gomez very early on in my career, throughout my entire career, having established a relationship with him throughout that time, he is somebody who absolutely loves the game of baseball. The energy, the excitement, sure, it can rub some folks the wrong way, but I'll tell you right now, it is coming from a great place, from a good heart. He just loves the game of baseball.
So 1-2 to Brad Miller.
On the other hand, Carlos Gomez should know that Coliseum right field is always a Sun Fields.
Yeah, yeah.
But maybe he just wanted to make a friend and borrow some sunglasses from a fan down there. Maybe he was having so much fun he just ran out there and forgot them. But it's nice that there was an accommodating fan.
One and two to Miller, who had a base hit in the first inning. And he got him swinging. Back-to-back strikeouts for Gossett here in the top of the third.
Well, this time he goes right after him with a 1-2 count. Fouled one off, and then the backdoor slider just kind of tumbled up there, but the change of velocity enough to fool Miller, who was thinking pull, which he did pull the first pitch, the first at bat over the head of Matt Olson for a base hit, but that's a good pitch, staying back, especially with 2 strikes. But I think we are seeing, kind of, to your point about a different approach with 2 strikes now. I mean, it's
painfully obvious.
Yeah, it's just. And that's why it was spectacular with the A's on that 10-game road trip to have 46 2-strike hits of the 97 they had on the trip. And you know, so while a lot of teams, a lot of players are going hard with 2 strikes, at least the A's, probably thanks to.
And that one is hit hard to left field, and it is gone. And it's gone in a hurry. It's a solo home run for C.J. Cron, his 12th of the year. Rays lead 1-0.
That was fast.
Until you get used to throwing that pitch for strikes, at times you can start to fall into patterns, start to become predictable. I feel like C.J. Cron might have been looking for this pitch here. Not the best of location up in the zone, but nonetheless, C.J. Cron hit it like he knew it was coming. Carlos Gomez is excited about it. That ball was leaned on.
Well, if he was looking for it, he hit it. But if he's not, he's looking something hard, just made an adjustment on a hanger. I mean, that's the bottom line. He hung it and he hit it.
Changeup and a good one, 84 miles an hour. Joey Wendell reached on a fielder's choice in the first inning.
Last year in the 1 start against the Rays that Gossett made, he gave up a home run to Longoria and 1 to Souza. 2 players no longer with the Rays, but he adds Cron to the list.
1-2. Home runs now, 31 RBIs for C.J. Cron. He's enjoying his time as a member of the Rays. Probably doesn't have to worry about whether he's going to be in the lineup.
Not with that kind of swing, and especially with them losing Longoria, who played so well at third base. A lot of big hits. Yeah, same with Joey Wendell. You know, Joey, Cleveland traded to the Athletics, and it seemed like that they said he's a good hitter, can't field. He turned out to be a very good second baseman, fielding wise, and may not hit for a lot of power, but he is a good hitter, making contact.
Hey, sitting on a 282 batting average, nothing wrong with that. And that one's hit high and deep to right field. Piscotty turns around and he's going to watch this one go. It's 2-0 Rays.
Sometimes when you try to hit singles, you hit home runs.
Second home run of the year for Joey Wendell.
Last year, the one thing about Daniel Gossett was giving up too many home runs. Gave up 21, and this fastball tried to get it in, ran back, got a lot of the plate, and again, location, belt high is not good.
Well out of here. So back-to-back home runs for Cron and Wendell, a right-handed hitter and a left-handed hitter.
You can sort of see there from Gossett his mannerisms. He's telling himself to finish that pitch. I think that was a changeup, Foss, that he just sort of got underneath, wasn't on top of that pitch, and I think that's why we saw him sort of remind himself, hey, finish that out front. Good arm speed, good hand speed. And that's the thing with the changeup. If you don't finish that pitch and you don't execute, that thing can float and flutter and result like that.
2-0 to Ramos. And Ramos drives one to right. That's it pretty well. Piscotty going back. Piscotty turns around, and that one's gone. Right on the ledge. Back to back to back.
Mike Sella can make another announcement. He just made first time back-to-back since.
Dropped right on the ledge on top of the out-of-town scoreboard.
Remember, he struck out the first two batters in this inning.
So that is home run number 7 for Wilson Ramos.
And again, whatever the pitch it is, in this inning, the home runs have been hit on belt high pitches.
Yep.
And you can't pitch that way to big league hitters.
So now it's 3-0 and Duffy hits. And Mike Sella tells us that that is the 4th time in Rays franchise history that they have hit 3 consecutive home runs. That doesn't make me feel any better.
No. And especially to come out of nowhere in an inning in which the 2 strikeouts and that double play last inning. But again, that's a change of speed there, but look at the location. Belt high.
When you think about what pitches the home runs were on, Cron got himself a backup breaking ball. Wendell hit the hanging changeup. Ramos deposits a fastball up and out of the zone.
Duffy lines one to right, and Piscotty has to play it on a short hop, and that's going to be the 4th consecutive hit.
Well, the one thing, you put a napkin over the location of these pitches. Another one that was up.
And right now, if you're Daniel Goss, you need to step off the mound, touch some grass, gather yourself. Understand, sure, there's been 3 loud noises in a row here, followed up by a 4th with a knock. The good thing is they're only worth 1 each, and you've still got a chance to get back in the dugout, give your team a chance to win. You got to get Malik Smith here.
And the first pitch to Smith is low. Smith hit into a 1-6-3 double play. That was in the 2nd inning. So there's the note. Cron, Wendell, and Ramos. A little bit outside. So now he's fallen behind in the count a lot in this inning. 2-0, 2-0, 2-0.
And look at the number of pitches already he's throwing, and he was okay coming into this inning. Even though 3-2, he struck out Field, struck out Miller.
2-0 pitch is sliced toward left. Pinder makes the catch, and that will do it for the Rays. They hit back-to-back-to-back home runs. So 3-0 Tampa Bay as we head to the bottom of the 3rd.
All on NBC Sports California is brought to you by the Chrysler Pacifica Hybrid, America's first hybrid minivan. Test drive one today.
Beautiful night around the Bay Area after a very warm day. Bottom of the third from the Coliseum with the Rays leading the A's 3-0. Facing the left-hander Blake Snell, who's thrown a lot of pitches in this game, but the A's have not gotten through to him. No runs allowed in the last 23 consecutive innings for the Rays pitching staff. Not too shabby there. So you follow that up with the fact that the A's have now gone 17 straight scoreless innings offensively. So 2 streaks moving at the same time, and the A's would like to get rid of that quickly. But this is the 8th game of this homestand, Ray, and it's, you talked about how good the A's looked on their road trip offensively, but it just has not carried over into this homestand, and that's what I think is a little bit frustrating. Knocked down by Robertson. Robertson's throw. Miller had it, dropped it, and Maxwell's aboard.
Poor Brad Miller. I mean, seriously. I mean, it was a desperation throw by Robertson after he clanked it, but you know, he made the hop, and it should have been handled. I mean, far enough out in front, and this one hit the heel of the glove. And Robertson, I mean, this is an E6, but in reality, granted the ball hit the ground, but look where it hit. It hit the palm hard. Couldn't squeeze it.
It's a tough E6.
That's a tough E6.
I mean,
it's not a whole lot you can do about it, but. So this is what we're talking about, Ray, the offense on this homestand. The A's hitting 171. They've scored 12 runs in the first 7 games. They've hit only 5 home runs and again a lot of strikeouts. 56 strikeouts in 7 games.
so all that means is food's better on the road in the clubhouses because they eat the clubhouse.
But that's where a little bit of the frustration comes in.
Yeah, very much so, especially to have the success against those 3 teams. And we talked about it starting this homestand that cannot take any of these teams lightly.
And really at home this year, the A's have not been nearly as good offensively as on the road. We know the home runs, they've hit a lot of road home runs, but sometimes you just can't figure things like that out. So 1-2 the count to Marcus Semien. That one tapped, just foul. So this has been a well chronicled number. 28 home games, 19 home runs. 27 road games, 47 home runs.
Yep. It's that humidor they put in out here.
Is that called the marine layer here?
That's what it is, Foss. You know it. But I got to believe as the season continues to evolve, continues to carry on, things start to warm up here in the Bay, I think that number will change.
But you look at tonight, 3 home runs in 1 inning, back to back to back by the Rays, and solidly hit. And that's probably not the sound the A's have been experiencing on this homestand. The loud sound was on the road.
Well, I know there was some loud noise last half inning to the tune of 3 runs here, but for Blake Snell over the course of his career, a 4-5 record when receiving anywhere from 3 to 5 runs of support. So still very much in the crosshairs of the Oakland A's.
Strike 3 called. Marcus Semien doesn't agree with Lance Barksdale. But we have not seen Snell come inside very often.
No.
Now batting third
Looks like he may have tried to there.
26, Matt Chapman.
Well, that was pretty much right over the middle of the play. I think Marcus thought maybe it was down a little bit. So that is 3 strikeouts for Blake Snell. That one is driven toward right center. Malik Smith hustling over. He's got it.
Too much speed.
Yep, nice running play by Smith, and he was shaded that way a little bit. Chapman
hard.
So now 2 outs, and Maxwell still at first, and they'll bring up Lowry. Lowry getting a DH assignment tonight. He was 2 for 5 yesterday. Still tied for 4th in the American League in RBIs with 38. He's tied with his teammate Chris Davis.
And he might be a welcome sight.
Yep.
He injured himself in the final game of the road trip. He's not played in this homestand, and maybe the correlation between lack of offense and Chris Davis being out of the lineup, maybe that's one of the problems.
Left center field. I don't think anybody's going to get it. And it's going to go all the way to the wall. Bruce Maxwell rounding third. They're waving him home. Here comes the throw to the plate, and there is no throw. And Maxwell scores, and it's 3-1. Robertson tried to make a throw. The ball slipped out of his hand.
Fortunately. That's a long run first to home, but there's your hanger, and that's against the defense. Great swing by Jed Lowry again. See where the center fielder was playing, and of course the left fielder Field was playing over as much as he could. And Jed Lowry got the off-speed pitch and hammered to left center. His patented double. Let's go, Bruce. Come on, big boy. You're going to be sent, and no throw, no need to slide, which is good.
I wasn't sure if he caught third base from where I'm sitting coming around. Doesn't matter now. It's on the scoreboard.
You know,
in the book.
Dallas stepped right in the middle of the bat.
Over the top of it.
Nothing to worry about. Nothing to worry about.
And I'm glad you said that after Snell made the first pitch.
That's right.
To Canada.
Absolutely nothing to be concerned about.
I mean, just stepped all over it.
Yeah. Take this.
He practically gave the bag a hug.
Let's take a look here.
Just barely in the toe.
Hey,
Gosh.
cut the corner like Ichiro.
Yeah.
He's cutting the corner like Ichiro.
That's what you're supposed to do. They say you don't have to have great speed to be a good base runner.
True.
Snell grabs it, throws to first, and that'll do it. But the A's get on the board. They break that consecutive scoreless inning streak. It's 3-1 after 3. All right, 3-1, top of the 4th inning. It'll be Robertson, Gomez, and Field against Gossett. And that one is hit deep to left field. Spinning around is Pinder, turning around, and it bangs off the wall. Pinder's got a good arm. His throw to second base is just a little bit offline, but sliding. And Field, or make that Robertson, came off the bag Lowry says I kept the tag on him, but he's called safe, or Barreto, and he's called safe. And that's the second base umpire, Carlos Torres.
Well, he's definitely, momentum's going to take him past, but did he get his left hand back as it comes off? Oh man, he's out. Got it on the. He came back that way, but he got him on the right hand. Looked like.
Well, that's what we're hoping, Foss. We hope he's got him on the hand right here, right. He missed him.
He missed him. Yeah.
You know what?
And he might have missed him on the second attempt as well.
He definitely missed him on the second one. But this, unfortunately, is going to show it right here when he went after him.
Misses him there.
Missed him there. Missed him there.
Wow.
That's a heck of a slide. Great give Robertson some credit there.
Well, and Barreto should have just throw your body at him right there. Throw your body at him. Get all over him. Don't let him get back to the bag.
Yeah, it's a heck of a job by Robertson to identify where that throw was coming in. Slide to the infield side of the bag.
Well, the fans are reacting, showing it on the A's vision, but the reaction the fans are seeing, they think he tagged. But man, to pull the right hand back and then the left hand, watch him pull the right hand back here, see? And then to go back with the left. That sounded loud too.
It's a good call. You're right. Thought it was out.
Well, it had the top spin, and that's what kept it in. And meanwhile, Scott Emerson on the phone. That phone is to the bullpen, I think, to Marcus Jensen. A's organization and Robertson, but now a member of the Tampa Bay Rays, and let's hope they're saying in New York that he got him with right on the manicured nails. We're going to find out, and he's going to be. Oh wow! Wow! Thank you. Barreto got him on the fingernail.
Plain as day, Foss.
Wow.
So the call overturned.
Now batting number 27, Carlos Gomez.
Hang with him. I told you. I told you.
So it's got to be a double with an overslide. Well, I guess not. The continuation. So base hit.
So one away. So here's Carlos Gomez. Carlos Gomez hit a ball hard to left field to end the second inning.
I wonder if Scott Emerson said to Marcus Jensen, the bullpen, if he's safe, get up somebody. If he's out, we'll hang with Gossett again.
Well, that's exactly what happens. Is we got a base runner, let's get it cranking.
Yeah.
We're going to go hitter to hitter, and it looks like they're going to get Pagan going.
And a 4-pitch walk to Carlos Gomez. Well, that's the second walk issued by Gossett. And now it's Johnny Field.
Daniel Gossett can get himself a 2-ball right here. He can get himself right back in line to potentially get through the 6th inning. Erase that loud 3rd inning.
Field struck out in the 3rd. And he takes a first pitch strike.
Well, you think of what Robertson, if he's called safe, runner in second, and the A's getting back, scoring the first run in this series, even though it was unearned, the A's will take it. But that's going to be a big turnaround if Gossett can get out of this inning without giving up a run.
Quick throw, and getting back is Gomez.
Gomez was leaning slightly.
Gomez 4 for 5 in stolen base attempts. So him running here is not out of the question at all. There he goes, and the ball's hit toward Chapman. Chapman dives, he's got it, he gets up. His throw to first is in time. Gomez to third, and he is out. What a double play that was.
Wow.
So that's a busy inning for the A's defense. And when it's all said and done, the Rays didn't get anything, and they only sent 3 batters to the plate. Wow.
Wow.
For only 3 batters that hit. But it's the bottom of the 4th inning. 3-1, the Rays lead the A's. As Chad Pinder leads things off. Pinder was part of that crazy top of the 4th. First pitch is a bit outside. Pinder reached on an E3 in the 2nd inning. Ground ball to Duffy. That Duffy's throw to first was missed by Brad Miller, the first baseman. Into the A's dugout. So I think maybe if you believe in that, maybe a little momentum shift in this game. Of course, a good starting pitcher can change that quickly, as that's a strikeout.
Well, Chapman, of course, an outstanding diving stop, gets up and throws outfield. But the biggest part is watch Matt Olson throwing really without much of a stride over to Marcus Semien. He catches it on the short hop, and going over to back him up was Matt Chapman after he made the play. See Chapman there, but nice pick by Marcus Semien. And Gomez looking for the ball to go past him. Instead, he got tagged. And a big double play and a great inning for the Athletics. Momentum, yeah. Snell took care of that with the first batter. But you're right. You'd like to look at that. But Snell had to be thinking that maybe going to score a couple runs for him. Ends up getting nothing.
1-1 the count. Olson struck out in the 2nd. 4 strikeouts now for Blake Snell. In the dirt.
I would just like to see a catcher throw a ball back when it hits the dirt instead of throwing it out to the side. So Bruce Maxwell do it. Now Ramos has done it.
Olson hits one very high and foul.
I'm with you, Foss. I just think, you know, you don't know what you're doing with that thing out there on the pitcher's mound. That's not going to help you very much either. So as much as I'd love to see a scuff, I'd love to see the man on the mound know what to do with said
exactly,
scuff.
yeah. But they don't get a chance because they all go out.
Yep.
You don't see thumbtacks and emery boards anymore either. There are times where catchers that actually take the baseball and scuff it themselves, that have a sharp piece on the shin guard, kind of rub it, throwing it back.
Shallow center. That's Duffy hustling out, and Duffy caught it. That's a very nice play. Duffy, the third baseman, but playing the shortstop spot with the shift on.
And he was looking for Wendell, or is that, yeah, that's Joey. He's going out, he's looking, and then back over his shoulder. See, actually Wendell's looking at him to see if he's going to catch it. This ball in the webbing of the glove, and that's not that easy of a play. And again, we go back to the no-hitter thrown by Sean Manaea, a similar play by Marcus Semien that was off the tip of the glove, but Semien was given an error and found out later it was not going to be changed to a hit because it was not a clean one. But it's a tough play. Back to the infield.
0-1 to Stephen Piscotty, who walked in the second inning. Lines one right field, and it's foul. Gomez almost caught it. That tells you where he's playing. He almost caught that.
I know he did. He's running farther to retrieve the ball that was foul than going back to his position. But you're right, how close he was.
Well, that positioning, which is, it's a bit strange. It has not, I don't think it's hurt the Rays yet in this series, and I know it helped them.
Lowry's ball
once this in tonight's game.
Yeah,
Lowry's ball, that's right.
That was foul in the first inning. That there's no way any normal position is going to get to it.
Down and in, and that is a swing and a miss, and a throw to first, and that's the inning. So that's a quick inning for Blake Snell. A couple of strikeouts. He's got 5 in the game. 3-1 Rays after 4.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time.
The Rays will have the top of their order up against Daniel Gossett. And I think at this point in the game, where it's still a ball game,
no doubt
Bob
about
Melvin is going to have a short leash with Daniel Gossett, because
exactly right.
Giving up some hard hit balls tonight.
And that's why if you're Daniel Gossett, excuse me, Foss, if you're Daniel Gossett, you can go out there and establish right now your ability to attack these hitters. You can buy yourself another inning. You can extend your outing right now, which would be huge for the Oakland A's.
Well, considering the success that the A's have had pitching wise recently, as we detailed in our open, that I mean, at 73 pitches, he could pitch the 5th and 6th and then maybe turn it over to the bullpen, try to hold the Rays down, and see if the offense can score.
1-2 to Miller. Single and a strikeout for Miller. Crone to follow, and then Wendell here in the 5th. Missed again. The Yankees beat the Astros 6-5 in 10 innings, so they scored 2 in the 9th to tie, and they won it in the 10th. The Yankees, they won the game despite making 5 errors.
That'll have Aaron Boone in fits.
A couple notes from that game. Gardner with a couple of home runs, including a 2-run shot in the 9th to tie it, and Aaron Judge hit his 15th.
And guess who hit the walk-off single? None other than the young pup himself, Gleyber Torres.
Gleyber Torres. He's having fun.
Oh.
Hit a home run also tonight, didn't he?
Gleyber Torres this year hitting .321 with 9 home runs and 26 RBIs. Everybody said, really, it's been 3-4 years now, that this young man was going to be a star, and it looks like he may be. Maybe not just yet, but on his way. Swing and a miss, struck him out.
Fans, check out the newly renovated 24-person suite, all-inclusive high-end food and drink. You get parking also. You can take the field for pregame, scoreboard message, and 24 hats for your group. Such a great deal. Visit athletics.com for more info. That's the executive suite package. And there they are. Wave to us, everybody. Thank you very much.
Hey, they listen to you. Well, we always listen to Ray Fosse.
No, it's muted out there. They're just seeing themselves. They don't care if anybody's talking. We wouldn't want to ruin their dinner.
No. So here's Crone, who homered in the 3rd inning. Well, the Seattle Mariners have kept a close eye on that Astros game, I'm sure. The Mariners leading the Rangers 4-2 in the 4th inning. Chance to tie the Astros for 1st place in the AL West.
How about another high fastball?
Yeah, I was just thinking the same thing, Foss, the way he was swinging at that. Feel like he's looking for that off-speed pitch.
That's right.
We talked about the home run he hit, how I thought he might have been sitting on this wrinkle here. They wanted it down, obviously a mislocation. But in my opinion, this is the pitch that C.J. Crone has come in looking for tonight.
And he swung and missed the 2nd pitch for the high fastball. Had no chance. Another break.
That was a hanger.
Wow.
Well, that was a hanger, and the foot down was on time, and he just missed that pitch.
And that's why you'd like to see a battery watch the swing of a hitter, because a lot of times he will tell you what he's trying to do. And if he swung and missed a 1-strike fastball, which he didn't have to swing at, but just showed at that point he was very tardy on the fastball.
Tapped over the mound. Barreto has it. Barreto's throw, and it gets past Olson. Crone makes a quick left-hand turn, and he's going to head to second base. So it's going to be a base hit and an E4.
A slow hit ball once it was over Gossett's head. Actually, right there, should have made the play. Should have been an out. That's a generous call probably for the base hit, because of the fact that he had a charge. But if he makes a good throw, and the fact that Olson was thinking more to the left, the ball was to his right as he had to reach for it. But I think it should have been an E all the way.
I agree with you there.
Because that play, while it was a little difficult, had to charge, but still.
Pagan getting loose again. With Joey Wendell stepping in.
Well, to Dallas's point, you know, and having a strong inning, had a chance at the slow hit ball by Crone. Should have been an out. Should have been 2 outs. Now having to battle to avoid having another run score. Well, that was crushed. That was back to back to back, and not a cheapie either. I agree with you, Dallas. It just looked like a high changeup. Everything was up in the inning. All the hits, 4 consecutive hits, were all elevated, at least about thigh to waist high.
Wendell had a pretty good rip at a fastball out over the plate. 1-1 the count.
And this is where the changeup has got to be something that Daniel Gossett can rely on. Obviously a pitch that Wendell saw up, was able to handle his first time around. Excuse me, second time around. If Gossett can get him off that fastball with a changeup, get him 1-2, he's got him in the palm of his hand.
Swung over top, good off-speed pitch from Gossett.
And there it was, that changeup, and now he's got the ability, in my opinion, he can double up with that pitch away, same pitch, different location, potentially beat him to a spot with the fastball inside based on that swing. A couple different ways he can go here.
Cron, not great speed at second base. 2 pitches slapped foul. Joey Wendell, second home run of the year. He's also got 6 doubles and 3 triples on the season. He's not really holding Cron on, and the ball's bounced to the right side. Barretto's got it. So Joey Wendell's out. Cron to third with 2 outs.
There's that changeup we're talking about. Good execution by Gossett. Changeup down in the zone, gets Wendell out in front, gets a rollover to Barretto. And right now he's 1 pitch away from pitching around the error.
Yeah. Well, you have to think also these pitches now are bonuses for the Rays, negative for Gossett because it should have been the 3rd out and back in the dugout. Now he's got to face the powerful Ramos to try to get back in the dugout.
First pitch to Ramos. He went after a first pitch.
Here's the homer by Ramos. Fastballs in real estate. Location, location, location. This one's up and out. Deposited into the right field bleacher area. And that's really been the name of the game today. Balls up out over the plate. Give this Tampa Bay lineup an opportunity to get to him. Loud noise.
Right field. Piscotty's going to back up. He'll have room this time, and he makes the catch. Side retired. Bottom of the 5th coming up. Barretto to lead it off. 3-1 Rays.
Hashtag hats off for heroes. For each post, T-Mobile will donate $1 to support veterans.
Welcome back to the Coliseum. 3-1, the Rays leading the A's, bottom of the 5th inning. See if the A's can get something going against Blake Snell. He's been pretty good so far. An unearned run for the Athletics. He's our good luck fan. Maybe he can get the offense rolling. The gold blazer.
Yes, he looks great, doesn't he? Meanwhile, that was pitch number 74 for Blake Snell. Good looking tie, good looking jacket. Just got it out of the cleaners.
My only concern, though, is the lady just did not look very interested in what he was talking about.
Yeah.
And this guy's talking A's baseball, man.
Yeah, they're sitting just to the left of me here. She seems to be fading in and out. Not quite the captive audience I know we have at home.
Three 3-0 to Barreto. Wow. And he takes high. So Franklin Barreto with a leadoff walk. Well, stick with the team you watched all season long. Thursday, Game 1 at Oracle. It's the NBA Finals again. Coverage begins at 4 p.m. with a special edition of Warriors Outsiders. Then it's Warriors Playoff Century before and after the game. It all starts at NBC Sports Bay Area. So congratulations to the Golden State Warriors as they won last night in Houston. And that guy went out after the game last night at 9:30 and bought that hat.
I think he went home and made it.
So for the 4th consecutive year to be the Warriors and the Cavs in the NBA Finals. Warriors have won twice. Cavs have won once.
About the time the World Series is over, then our starts, the NBA Finals be over.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe not quite yet. Not quite yet. It is June, or it will be June.
Someone said Father's Day would be Game 7 if they play it. That's wow.
Almost a month away.
Yeah.
I just thought basketball was that sport you played in the wintertime indoors.
It covers winter, spring, and summer.
1-1 pitch to Maxwell. It's high and foul.
So I guess for the Warriors and the Cavs, there's no carryover effect, right? Like they say in the World Series, you know, I've got to play that extra month. I mean, the NBA.
Yeah, that's true.
NBA, you're playing forever, man. And then they'll be practicing probably in a month.
Yeah, they never get tired, those guys. LeBron James doesn't get tired, that's for sure.
Played all 48 minutes.
Yeah, how about that? Maxwell tried to hold up, couldn't do it. So Snell gets strikeout number 6.
It's that curveball we were talking about at the top of the broadcast. Not only his ability to put the pressure on the offense early by getting ahead with strike 1, but he's thrown that pitch not only for strikes early in the count. He's done a great job of expanding the strike zone once ahead with that pitch as well. Become a very, very tough and unpredictable AB when you've got it all mixed in for strikes.
Simeon bounces it to third. Duffy's got it. He's going to throw to second, and they got him. So Duffy took a chance, and he made a nice play, and they just got Barreto.
Well, great hustle by Barreto to make it as close as it was. And Duffy, you would think, would just go to first and take the out, but there's the nice stretch by Joey Wendell. The feet first slide, a little pop-up by Barreto, but that is a gutsy play.
Well, I tell you what, I've spent some time with Matt Duffy for a few off seasons now, and just having the opportunity to pick his brain and kind of talk to him. Obviously, he flashed some outstanding defensive ability while in San Francisco. And I asked him about his instinctual approach. Is it something that he's worked on? It's something that he's prided himself on? Because I pay attention to his baseball IQ. And he said he's always anticipate getting that lead runner, knowing what to do with the baseball. So it's no surprise when you see Matt Duffy make a play like that where he charges it, takes that hop away, executes the strong throw over to second. It's something he's waiting for.
He's also waiting to just be healthy for a year. He went from the Giants to Tampa Bay in 2016. Then he played just 21 games that year for the Rays. And then last year he did not play in the big leagues at all. And it's it was kind of a heel injury. And let's hope he got it fixed and he's good to go, because he's a pretty good player. That is his father.
Got your credentials to take.
Yeah, he's locked and loaded, man. He's taking pictures of one guy and one guy only. That guy. 2-1 the count. Chapman swings and misses. Changeup at 86 miles an hour. So 2-2.
That's now from his standpoint. He knows that Chapman has the power to make it a tie game, and as a result, just got a pretty good changeup. Threw him a good changeup.
Got jammed a little bit. Coming in is Field, and Field makes the catch, and that will do it for the Athletics. We're through 5 from the Coliseum. Still 3-1. The Rays lead the A's.
California is brought to you by the Habit Burger. Try the new Guacamole Crunch Char Burger at the Habit Burger Grill. It's not the same without the flame.
3-1. The Rays lead the A's. It's the top of the 6th inning. And when it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your trusted oil change, tune-up, and repair experts. Emilio Pagan comes in. His 15th appearance. 1-0, 4.50 ERA. He's been pitching a little bit better since being brought back to the big leagues from the minor leagues.
Utilized the fastball just a little bit more, which has helped him.
Well, there's no reason not to when you've got Emilio's fastball.
Right.
Foss 93, 95. We've seen it upwards of 95 at times.
Yep, I agree.
Duffy, Smith, and Robertson here in the 6th inning. Did I just see the Habit as one of our sponsors? Did I just see that, Dallas?
You did. The Habit.
Oh, man. They know where to find us.
They do. You take a look at the line from Goose tonight. 5 innings, 8 hits. The 2 walks. Did pitch around an error.
Good pitch. Should have been a strike. Called the ball. Ray, you ever had a Habit burger?
No.
No? Oh, my goodness, Ray.
Sorry. I mean, there's some things I haven't done.
Very few.
What is a Habit burger?
It's a hamburger.
Is it habitual that you eat a lot of them?
Oh, trust me. If you had one, you'd have 3.
It'll do that to you.
If you see one when you're driving around Danville, just pull in and get one. I'm telling you.
And then take a nap.
And then shut it down. Pretty tasty.
Yeah, you had one? No.
There are some things we can guarantee in life. Sunrise, sunset, taxes, and BI has not had a habit burger. BI's not a big eater.
At least we don't see him.
First pitch is low to Alex Smith.
Well, you're going to have to bring me a habit burger so I can say I've had one.
I would. I promise you.
Habit.
Want to know to Alex Smith. 1-1 to Alex Smith. 8 hits for the Rays, 1 hit for the Athletics. The Rays went back to back to back in the 3rd inning.
And the run for the A's, it's unearned, but the A's will take it considering they have not been scoring runs.
High fastball, and Smith chased that. A little bit of action out in the Rays bullpen.
Well, if anything, for Snell, it's a pitch count. He's thrown a lot tonight, starting with the 1st inning.
Excuse me, right? Good pitch right on the corner.
Let it go, 94.
So Pagan gets his first strikeout.
And that's what we're talking about, Foss. Let that heater eat. That's what you do when it's hungry. Get yourself a habit burger and a heater low and away. And go to town. And Alex Smith turned into a window shopper by Pagan.
Well, maybe he's going upstairs to see if Mikey's got a habit burger.
I would absolutely have one right now. First pitch is a strike to Robertson.
Killing me, man. Come on,
Tell you what, speaking of that burger, a little mustard down and away.
Pitchcast brought to you by SoFi, a modern finance company. Robertson has walked and then he singled and was thrown out at second base trying to stretch it into a double. Originally he was called safe, and he went to the replay review and the call was overturned. He was called out, so he was given a single. So Schultz and Venters. Venters got a save yesterday. One and two. Pagan looking for a 3-up, 3-down inning. Fastball at 95, but a bit high. Fouled straight back. So Pagan coming right at him with the fastball, which I think it's kind of what he's doing a little bit more of.
Well, it should be, because like Dallas said, a good fastball, so why not use it?
Well, a lot of times you'll see that that's what happens. You take a trip down to 3A, reestablish what has gotten you to the big leagues, what has kept you in the big leagues at times, and that's your ability to be confident in the fastball. Know that when you need to, you can spin that breaking ball and expand for strike 3, but ultimately it's working off that heater.
2-2 pitch, good fastball, and he threw it right by Robertson. Couple of strikeouts for Pagan. All right, bottom of the 6th coming up. Lowry, Cannon, Pinder to hit for the A's.
Brought to you by Kelly Moore Paints. Go where the pros go. Kelly Moore, the painter's paint store.
Having fun inside Shibe Park Tavern and keeping an eye on the ballgame, or you could be at the Treehouse. Those gentlemen enjoying it. Also trying to get the Ace some runs. Taco Tuesday tonight.
My favorite Tuesday.
Lowry, Canna, and Pinder against Blake Snell. Hit hard into left field, and that's a base hit. 2 hits again for Lowry tonight.
Remember yesterday, Chris Archer went 6 innings and threw 88 pitches, and Blake Snell now to 89 as he pitches to the second batter in the 6th. Small, loud contact, so maybe the pitch count getting a little bit to Blake Snell. He scored the unearned run in the 3rd inning, but really affected Snell, who retired 4 in a row after that. Pretty good pitcher.
So here's Canna. First pitch is a strike. Blake Snell has thrown as many as 114 pitches in a game this year. He's done that twice. Bounce to short. Robertson has to wait for that big hop. Robertson had a decision to make. Do I keep charging it or do I wait for the hop? You wait for the hop, then you're going to have to probably go across the diamond first, and that's what he did.
Now batting left fielder.
A good shortstop, but he handled this very nicely because he did wait back, kind of slung the ball over a little bit, slinging action. As he takes it to his right, you're right, charged and stopped and took it to the side, let it go without much, almost like turning a double play.
And that hop's still not an easy one to corral. That thing's got top spin.
Yeah.
When it hits that dirt, it takes off on you.
Pinder hits one high and foul down the right field line. So he's got another shot here. Runner in scoring position. Pinder has reached on an air and he has struck out. And that one is right there for a strike, and now it's 0-2.
That's about as far in as we've seen Snell work.
Still a righty and a lefty warming up. Looks like Romo's up now. The A's bullpen is quiet. Two pitch, and there's that big overhand curve, and they're going to call it a foul ball.
Well, he just barely got it, if any. Just barely hit in the dirt, which means that gets another opportunity.
How about that? Opponents are 3 for 52 against Snell with runners in scoring position. The hit tonight was the double by Lowry, but that came with a runner at first. Yeah. So 0-2 the count to Pinder. Olsen waiting in the on deck circle. And that one past Ramos up against the netting. It settles between the netting and the padding. So it's a wild pitch, a very wild pitch. Lowry goes to third.
Yeah, a real wild pitch on a hard curveball down and in, and Ramos came up for some reason. Instead of going down, you like to see a catch go down. He came up, which is not a good technique, especially as big as he is. Just throw his body in front of it. Feel back.
1-2 pitch, got him swinging. Pinder slams his bat down. He strikes out for the second time. That's 7 now for Snell.
Fans join the A's for the first of 5 community sandlot style plastic bat and ball games starting June the 3rd from 9 to 11 a.m. at Brookdale Park in Oakland. Kids, adults, and families can play a pickup style baseball game alongside the A's street team with A's Goodies. A's Play Ball presented by Sutter Health encourages the community to come together, celebrate, and enjoy the game of baseball. Learn more at athletics.com/community.
So we got a pitching change. Many bettors coming in. When it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service.
Johnny Ventures.
Pitched well. 5 2/3 innings, 97 pitches. I don't know that he was really thrilled to get taken out of the game.
He shouldn't have been.
I agree.
That's his runner at third base. He just struck out Pender, the right-hander. He's got a lefty, Olson, coming up, and Venters, he struck out Olson yesterday to end the game.
You can see Snell trying to buy him. I got it, I'm good. I'm feeling good. I've got a lefty coming up. I just punched out a righty on a slider down and in. I feel like I'm executing.
And Venters made wild pitches run home. He keeps going.
See the frustration. Come on, I got a lefty. That's really what the thought is as a left-hander, you don't understand why him and not me.
The first Olson is retired, so Venters gets Olson, and the A's do not score. Still 3-1 as we head to the 7th.
Is a perfect place to host your next meeting, event, or convention. Get started by contacting the Santa Clara Convention and Visitors Bureau at santaclara.org/meetings.
Some good looking hats there. Plenty to choose from. Different styles, different colors.
Kelly Green is popping.
Yep. Yep. Popular item, whether it be the hat or the jersey. 3-1 top of the 7th inning. Pagan with a good 6th inning, couple of strikeouts. And that is a fair ball. Chapman's got it. Chapman's throw across the diamond. Are you kidding me? He ended up right near the entrance of the dugout.
Guys, I was clearing space in my lap over here for him. This is unbelievable. Matt Chapman, a.k.a. Captain America, with the backhand bonanza all the way into the dugout, as you mentioned. Could get a load of this. Had to gather himself. Strong core on display. Keeps his balance. And the hose over to Ole at first. We're talking gold in them hills, boys. And that's Matt Chapman in full effect.
You know, the amazing thing, he didn't bounce the ball. He threw it with as much velocity, if there is such a thing for a third baseman throwing from well beyond the third base. That was unbelievable. I've never seen a play like that. I mean, he just gets better and better. And he almost fell down. He almost stumbled.
Stumbled a little bit
as he caught the ball.
Well, and that's what I want you to think about. Think about if you found yourself stumbling down the hallway, lights are off, you're trying to gather yourself, you got the hands up, you're doing everything you can. He just recruited that 12-pack underneath that jersey, kept his balance, hosed over to first. He gone.
2-0 to Johnny Field. Well, we said that may be the best play of the year by Chapman like 7 times this year.
Exactly.
And I'm going to say it again. That may be the best.
Wow.
Ranks among all third basemen in the major leagues.
Is that good?
Wow.
That's good.
And that means his former teammate Nolan Arenado is not even on the list. That's the amazing thing.
Knowing Nolan Arenado, he's probably second in all those categories.
That's right.
Andy Coulombe, the lefty, starts to throw. He's warming up quickly. These will go to Coors Field in Denver this year. So those two can show off to each other a little bit.
What do you think what this does for a pitcher to have a defensive play like that? For Pagan, who's thinking maybe it's a double to lead off the inning. Gomez got to be thinking the same thing. Instead, he's back in the dugout. 2 strikes on this 9th place hitter trying to get out. See if Coulombe faces Miller after the strikeout.
So Fields chases a pitch in the dirt, throw to first. And that's 5 up, 5 down for Emilio Pagan.
With a hard slider, and Pagan, good fastball, but also this breaking pitch. Nice block by Bruce Maxwell as Field able to get up and run. Maxwell got him, and I think this is, I mean, Miller's a good left-hander. Got the right-hander Crone in the on-deck circle, but bottom line, he gets to face this guy. Unlike what we saw with Nate Snell, how he reacted. He was taken out.
0-1 to Miller, who has singled and struck out twice.
We were in Boston when Lou Trevino came in, struck out 2, and up comes Mitch Moreland. Left him in to face him. Why not? The guy's hot. Got a nice rhythm going, and just whether lefty or righty, leave him in there.
So 0-2 to Miller. Blocked by Maxwell. Rangers have come back to take the lead over the Mariners. It's 5-4 Texas in the 6th inning. That's Rowe on the right and Schultz, who's up for the 2nd inning. Miller with 5 home runs, 18 RBIs. This is the same Brad Miller that was playing shortstop for the Mariners not that long ago. He's now turned into kind of a super utility guy.
About two guys within the three in the batting order not wearing batting gloves. Joey Wendell, sans batting gloves. Same with Miller. He's never worn them. Don't see it that often anymore. Most players will wear at least one, if not mostly two batting gloves.
See, Miller's got that little dot under his eye, and looks like there may be a stitch or two in there. That happened yesterday. We don't know how it happened, but he was in the original starting lineup and then was scratched. But he did pinch hit later in the game. Got him swinging. Good fastball by Pagan. And Pagan with 2 innings and 4 strikeouts. 7th inning stretch time. 3-1 the Rays. About the A's top 50 most memorable moments in Oakland. Now we want the fans to pick the most memorable moment. It's a season-long promotion tonight. Dallas Braden's perfect game in 2010 versus Jason Kendall's scamper home for the winning run versus the Angels in 2005. Fans vote through our A's Twitter poll. Play that wins advances to face the next memorable moment. So you got a half hour to vote. Who do you like? Dallas's perfect game or Jason Kendall scampers home? The Kendall thing was great. If I was voting, I would take the perfect game.
Oh, buddy.
No problem.
It's hard not. I mean, perfect games. I mean, Dallas with 22, 23. What is the total now?
23 total.
23 total. We have a major league debut. Jamie Schultz, number 57, comes in, a right-hander.
Throw out the first pitch. That's a strike. Authenticated. Dominic's here tonight. He'll run over the other side. Throw a hologram on it. Put it in the computer. Jamie Schultz, first major league pitch. It's a strike.
From Albany, New York.
Second pitch. Home run. Who was it? The torpedo. What do they call it? The guy from Hawaii. I don't know. It's Torpedo's nickname. I can't remember. But anyway, throws his first pitch. Strike. Throws it out. Next pitch, home run.
That's right.
Throw that one out too.
A starting pitcher, right? He had big minor league numbers.
Yeah.
Schultz is 5'10", 200 pounds. 26 years old. So making his major league debut in what is a tight game. It's the bottom of the 7th. 3-1 Rays, and you're doing it in a visiting ballpark.
You see it early. He's got the live arm.
Yes, indeed.
96, 97.
Hopped up to Xfinity, 96, 95 plus, and got Gomez wanting to shake hands with the bullpen catcher.
And there's the high fastball. Piscotti could not lay off. He chased it a little up and in. So 1 away here in the bottom of the 7th.
Fans, the Connie Mack Club is now open. Bring 30 to 50 guests out to this space within Shibe Park Tavern. Seats will be located immediately in front of Shibe Park Tavern in our Plaza Club seats. This is the most premium group hospitality experience at the Coliseum. Go to athletics.com/groups for details.
So 1 out, we're going to get a pinch hitter. It's going to be Matt Joyce. Joyce is hitting for Franklin Barreto.
Bob Melvin always thinking about his interchangeable parts, so he can probably have Pinder going to second, Joyce to left. Keep Jed Lowry at the DH position.
The managers call them in-game players.
That's right.
Which obviously comes into play a little bit more in the National League, but they're important.
I'll tell you, especially if your bench is light because of the number of
pitchers. Most benches are lighter now because everybody's carrying 13 pitchers.
That's right.
0-2. Schultz breaking ball.
It's a good job by Joyce. Lay off that. You see him stomping his right foot, telling him soft front side, just reminding himself, get that foot down, keep the weight back.
High fastball, that one at 98 miles an hour. Boy, it looks like it had a little extra gear.
And it's got life in the zone too. That last 5 feet, that thing takes off. You see Matt Joyce just underneath it, just beat him to the top of the zone, did Schultz.
So back-to-back strikeouts for Jamie Schultz in his big league debut. Here's Maxwell. You know, we see it on TV up here on our monitor, but Dallas, you're right down there. When a guy's throwing 98, I mean, it just jumps out at you how hard it is to hit that velocity.
Well, and I jokingly said yesterday,
I mean, that's 96, and that's by Maxwell.
And I said yesterday, you know, anything 95 and above, you start to listen for. But in all honesty, you can hear the baseball make its way towards home plate.
Bruce Maxwell immediately asked for another bat after Al Pedrique retrieved it and bringing it back towards him. Figured I just set a record for the longest bat throw. Might as well get a new one.
It's an Olympic sport now, the bat toss.
When you got to figure with the marine layer having crept in, there's some dew and moisture on the ground. No need to worry about a slick bat or a slick barrel as Maxwell's looking to barrel this pitch up here.
1-1 the count. Maxwell reached on an error and scored, and that one right by him again at 97. That was in the third inning, then he struck out in the fifth. The A's have struck out 9 times so far. Ryan Dull, he's ready to go. That one sliced foul. Rays, their pitching stage, it's just not conventional right now. They got a whole bunch of relievers. Archer and Snell starters, and then as we talked about, they've started a reliever a couple times. And that one is right by Maxwell, and that right there, folks, is Jamie Schultz. He just struck out the side in his major league debut.
Dealers, how about this? A third baseman makes a diving step, throws to his good buddy, the first baseman, who throws back to Simeon, who's covering, as Gomez tried to go from first to third on the throw across the diamond. And how about this play by Matt Chapman? So the third baseman, the first baseman, they've been doing it tonight. They've been doing it all season. The A's really have a 3-1 deficit, and because of that man, because he's kept them in the game with the defensive plays. And he looked at his cap inside and said, play wherever you want to. You have a strong enough arm, you can handle any play.
Brian Dole is the new pitcher for the A's. He faces Crone, Wendell, and Ramos here in the top of the 8th. When it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your trusted oil change, tune-up, and repair expert. So, appearance number 15 for Dole. Crone hits it hard, gloved by Chapman, and he caught it before it hit the ground, and that's out number 1.
Great reaction by Chapman here on the backhand. Again, anytime you've got that low liner, soft liner coming at you as an infielder to your right or left, it's usually more of a controlled fall as opposed to a dive, and that's what you see from Chapman here, a controlled fall down to the backhand side. Is able to secure that before it hits the ground for the out.
So 1 away, here's Joey Wendell. Some defensive changes for the Athletics. Matt Joyce, who pinch hit, stays in the game in left. Pinder goes from left to second. Barreto is out. Good pitch there, right at the knees. Chaz Rowe warming up again, so it looks like he will probably pitch the 8th inning.
What's wrong with Schultz?
Too much high octane.
Matter of fact, there's a whole bunch of guys in the A's dugout that get him out of here. Barney Schultz. Oh, Barney. I'll tell you what, this Schultz is good. Throw 97, 98. Easy. Oh, by the way, here's a flip curveball up there, too.
High fly ball to left. Joyce is right there. So 2 away here in the top of the 8th inning. Well, Xfinity X1 customers say, show me the Oakland A's in your X1 voice remote and get live stats on your TV. Change the way you experience TV with Xfinity X1. So with 2 outs, Wilson Ramos comes up. The Rays got all their runs in the 3rd inning, and they did it quickly. Crone, Wendell, Ramos went back to back to back.
All with 2 outs.
First pitch to Ramos, a slider for a strike. Ramos has also hit a couple fly balls to right field. His home run went to right field.
Fastball up out.
You can see the stance that he uses with the open stance, then closes, which would mean that a pitch up and outside, he's going to generate a lot of power. Not quite Tony Batista, but he closes up fast and generates a lot of power.
Remember, Ramos had good years with Washington, but in 2016 he hit .307 with 22 home runs and 80 RBIs. But then he got hurt right at the end of the year. Hurt his knee, and it was a fairly significant knee injury. He had surgery, and he was also a free agent. So he signed with the Rays last year, or going into last season, and the Rays signed him knowing that he would not be ready to play at the beginning of the year. He ended up playing in 64 games last year. And he had 11 home runs and 35 RBI, so he had good production when he did finally get back into the lineup. He spent the first 76 games of last year on the disabled list, recovering from that knee surgery. So he will be a free agent after this year, and well, he's 30 years old right now. He's a pretty good hitter.
One of the better offensive catchers in the game.
Check swing, no swing, and it's 3-2.
Well, he's also very strong, as you mentioned, because he's able to start his swing on this slider away. And that's why Lance Barksdale immediately pointed to Scott Berry. Because if Barksdale would have watched the body of Ramos, he'd have called him out. Bat did not go through the hitting zone.
That one right in the outside corner. Ramos knew it, and a good inning for Ryan Dull. Bottom of the 8th. Time to get the offense going.
Baseball on brought to you by Toyota. Designed for the grind that comes through every time. See your local Toyota dealer today. Toyota. Let's go places. By Southwest Airlines. Low fares, no hidden fees. That's transparency. By Xfinity. X1 will change the way you experience TV. And by SoFi, a modern finance company.
Here's our game summary brought to you by your local Toyota dealers. 3-8-2 for the Rays, 1-2-1 for the Athletics. Snell was good. Gossett 3 earned runs in 5 innings, and it's the back-to-back-to-back home runs for the Rays. That is the difference in the game right now. It's 3-1, bottom of the 8th inning. And the new pitcher for the Rays is Chaz Rowe, big, tall right-hander, 6'5". See the Athletics offense, just 1 run so far in this series. So scuffling a little bit. And it's quickly 0-2 to Simeon when it's time for change. Think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your trusted oil change, tune-up, and repair experts. Chaz Rowe, he leads the Rays team in appearances. This is number 26. More strikeouts than innings pitched. Dallas, what you see with him is a good slider. Schultz, we saw the good fastball, but Rowe likes to throw that slider.
Yeah, and I'm thinking to myself, you know, 92, 93, 94, not overpowering stuff. And it's funny to say that these days, but it just rings true. If you've got the ability to spin it the way Chaz Rowe does, your 92 to 94 is really a show me or for effect at times, because he loves that slide ball.
And he's just throwing 2 that were not close. Almost looked like he's trying to overthrow it. 2-2 the count to Simeon, who is 0 for 3. Just 2 hits for the A's. Lowry's double and knocked in a run in the 3rd. Lowry's single in the 6th. And up and in, he did not go.
Right.
3-2.
It's a good call by Scott Berry, because Marcus Simeon, just watch his bat as he drops the bat and then body goes backwards and the bat stays with the angle back towards the umpire.
Payoff pitch, here it is, and he went with a slider and he missed. A leadoff walk. All right, time now for our Coors Banquet Timeless Moment. On this date in 1990, Rickey Henderson, steal of 3rd base in the 6th inning of a 2-1 loss to the Blue Jays, breaks the 62-year-old American League stolen base record. 892 held by Ty Cobb, 1990. Ricky just measuring it up. No chance.
Look at that. That's full speed. Now the trainer, and I got to take a look at Rowe, but Ricky, I am the greatest of all time, and he was. They're checking on Rowe, but you know, it's watching the A's vision. It's never showing Ricky stealing bases. And that hit first slide, he could slide and he'd pop up after he hit the bag. It's amazing how quickly he could pop up and head to third if the ball got by into center field. Is that a trip to the mound?
Yes, absolutely. It's 2. There was 4 guys out there. Injury, so Rowe seems to be okay. So an opportunity, leadoff walk. Broken bat. Wendell hustling out. He's got a chance to fall, and it will. Simeon's going to try for third. Now he's going to be caught in the middle, and it ends up being a great thing for the A's. Second and third, nobody out.
Great read by Marcus Simeon, and even better by Matt Chapman.
Well, this is a great read by Marcus Simeon off the bat. In his mind, he thought about 3. As soon as he sees that that's going to enter no man's land, he's off for 3. But Carlos Gomez does a great job of running and hustling and getting the ball in all in one motion. You see Simeon here anticipates, says, oh, nope. Carlos Gomez backdoors him, and Simeon wisely, as he sees that throw head into the cutoff man, bolts for third. The errant throw, Chapman a heads-up play to get himself to second base, and the green and gold have runners at second and third with nobody out.
Well, there's the bobble, and then Gomez kind of throwing on the run. I don't know what he was doing, where he was throwing it, but it's the bobble, and with the ball trickling away, the A's a great opportunity. Especially right now, nobody out. They could not capitalize on the 6th with a runner at third and less than 2 outs.
First pitch strike to Lowry, so it goes as a single and an E9. Almost looked like Gomez was going to throw it to one spot, and then right when he was getting ready to release it, he may have changed his mind.
Exactly.
Kind of held on to it.
And maybe because Marcus stopped when he rounded for a second base, and you know, he probably thought if he keeps running, Gomez might have thrown him out.
Well, that's exactly what happened. Is Gomez was ready to throw that ball to third base. He saw Simeon taking off for third, and then he saw Simeon stop. So he tries to backdoor him and throw it to the cutoff man standing at second. Just a throw that wasn't able to be handled, and that's what allowed Simeon to continue on to third and Chapman to follow.
So now the count 0-2 to Lowry. Canna will be next.
Now, how about just a ground ball to second? We'll plate one, move runner to third, then when the infield comes in, get a base hit or a sac fly. Because you have to have some productive outs here. At least one for Jed Lowry. If he doesn't drive both of them in with a base hit or some sort of a knock.
5 for 9 getting runners home from third with less than 2 outs.
Yesterday, the A's had the bases loaded, 1 out, did not score, and that would have won the game if it had gone regulation. The A's could have held them down.
Got him swinging. Slider that kind of stayed up and out a little bit, but Lowry missed it.
Wow. I mean, this is a good productive time to try to pull the ball in, Jed. Maybe thinking that, but see the little uppercut. There's your uppercut. And enough that he could not make contact on the breaking ball. Wow. That is unusual. I figure he's going to make some sort of contact. 2 hits tonight, a double and a single, but in the big time, a strikeout.
And Canna takes a high strike. A's are now 0 for 11 with runners in scoring position in this series. Remember, it's time for that to change.
Remember, over the weekend, just 1 for 13 against the Diamondbacks. That was the hit by Matt Chapman.
It all changed right here with a base hit. Canna takes inside. Rowe went with the slider, but it kind of backed up a little bit. Canna has struck out and grounded out twice. inside again. 92-mile-an-hour fastball.
Looked like that time Cannon was looking out and then leaned back with the pitch inside off the plate, fortunately for him.
Jose Alvarado, the hard-throwing left-hander, is warming up out in the Rays bullpen. 2-1 pitch. Call the ball, 3-1. That looked like a pretty good pitch. Rays get the call.
Ramos not doing him any favors behind the plate. He rides this fastball down out of the zone. Tries to bring it back up, but not so much.
How about a 1.5 feet? That's terrible.
3-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. Now it's 3-2. See, Rose got a lot of movement, not just on his slider. He's got some pretty good movement on his fastball as well.
Slight sink and run to the arm side.
I mean, any contact at all is going to play to run. I mean, just contact. That's the same with Jed Lowry, and now it's 3-2 to Canna.
Pinder is the on-deck hitter.
I'd like to see him channel an extra base hit here.
Cannon's going to ask for time, and he'll get it from Lance Barksdale. Snell, Fenders, Schultz, and now Rowe. So pitcher number 4. A's bullpen is quiet at the moment. 3-2 pitch to Cannon, and it's lined down the left field line, just foul. Cannon knew it was going to go foul. He took a couple steps out of the batter's box and just kind of stopped.
Rowe with a running fastball inside, belt high. There's your location, but for Rowe, it ran enough inside. All Mark could do was swing and know the ball was going to run foul. By the way, it's cold enough for Mark to have a mask on tonight.
It's getting cold.
Yeah,
after a hot day around the Bay Area. Another 3-2 pitch. Here it is. Got him swinging. Hard slider, 84 miles an hour. And it went in the outer half.
Well, he had done just enough work on the inside part of the plate during this AB to allow him to get away with pitches like this. Because in my opinion, this is something that Mark Canna can definitely handle. But having made him aware of the inside part of the plate up and in, forces Canna to respect the inside part of the plate and allows Chaz Rowe to get away with that mixer up in the zone.
All right, here's Pinder. And the first pitch right in there for a strike. Chad Pinder 0 for 3. Spins the slider in there for a strike. It may not have been exactly where Rowe wanted it, but it was a strike, and now it's 0-2. They'll hang a slider occasionally. Needs to do it right here. Simeon at third, Chapman at second, the tying runs. 0-2 pitch, and that one just missed inside.
And that's one that a hitter will give up on, as Pinder did. And fortunately, it missed the plate because wanted it outside and it's inside. And whew, thank you, Mr. Barksdale, who's looking right down at it.
And another breaking ball. That one better pitched by Rowe, and Pinder just barely got a piece of it.
Well, you think, just like Dallas said, that with Mark Canna, the fastball in, he pulled foul. Then he goes breaking pitch away, could not reach it. And this has been 4 sliders to Mr. Pinder.
You wonder, would he try to come inside? I think he's going to keep throwing the slider.
I agree. And that's his pitch. And maybe he'll throw one far enough off the plate that be a wild pitch.
was another slider. That one hung a little bit. Hung on the inside part of the plate.
And I think after that, they're probably going to go back to that fastball and get that arm speed right. He's casted 2 out of the 3 breaking balls that we've seen recently here.
Olsen would be next. A's need a big hit. And that one's bounced toward third. Duffy's got it. Duffy fires across just in time to get Pinder, and the A's do not score. 9th inning coming up. 3-1 Rays. The Rays lead the A's 3-8-3 for Tampa Bay, 1-3-1 for the A's. So Dull back to work his 2nd inning. The bullpen's been very good. Pagan 2 innings of perfect baseball with 4 strikeouts. Dull with a 3-up, 3-down 8th inning. He'll try to keep that going here in the 9th. Facing Matt Duffy. Duffy 2 hits today. He's got his average up to 310. He hits that one right up the middle. Duffy has indeed hit some balls hard in this series. He's 3 for 4.
Jurassic World fireworks will roar like a T-Rex to the sky as the A's host the Los Angeles Angels on Friday, June the 15th. Presented by Ray Morgan Company. Fans can enjoy the post-game fireworks from the outfield grass set to the music of the Jurassic Park movies. Bring your pack of Raptors kite and enjoy the show. Visit athletics.com/fireworks for details. Got some Raptors?
Yeah, a couple of them. Jurassic Park. Cool. Started out as a good idea, Jurassic Park, but it's kind of didn't quite pan out the way everybody had hoped.
Well, the best part about that is the rally monkey in Anaheim, whenever they used that scene from Jurassic Park.
That's right. Yeah.
And the monkey comes out.
0-1 to Malik Smith. Speaking of Anaheim, the Angels won tonight 9-2 in Detroit. Valbuena hit a couple of home runs. Kinsler, Maldonado homer. Sergio Romo looks like he got his big brother's pants. I know that. Holy smokes.
You know, the amazing thing how a guy could start one day and close the next, huh?
Man. So the Angels with that win now 30-25.
Well, any chance for the A's, they got to keep it at 2.
Yep.
Because they've had a tough time scoring runs in general, and you add more to it. Makes it a little bit more difficult.
Seems as of late the Oakland A's have been able to scratch a few across late in the ball game. Give yourself the opportunity, keep it right here. You got a chance.
Duffy with a good lead. And it's low. No, strike called. Low strike. 1-2 to Malik Smith. Rangers still leading Seattle 5-4 in the 7th inning. Duffy has a couple of steals. Inches out a little bit further. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. Malik Smith can't believe it.
Well, that second strike he probably couldn't believe, but fortunate to get it.
They go with heater down and away.
Now
Creeps
batting
back
number
over the middle,
28.
get away with one over the middle of the plate there. One of the fastball down and away. Trying to kill two birds with one stone, get the ground ball. Malik Smith, not a prototypical double play candidate. Matt Duffy runs well himself over there at first.
Here's Robertson. Robertson a walk, a single, and a strikeout. Robertson is 6th in the American League in walks, and he is 6th in on-base percentage. Look at that on-base percentage, .407. Quick throw. He's got 30 walk. Make it 31 now with his one tonight. This could be a spot where Kevin Cash sends the runner. Hit and run, something like that.
It's a great idea.
There we go.
You know the sides?
I got the signs. Throw is perfect, and they got it. Bad idea to send the runner.
Well, especially Bruce Maxwell has been throwing extremely well, and Robertson actually fell across the plate, or it might have been a little bit of contact, but it didn't matter because watch the hitter Robertson on the swing, and then where he ends up and where Bruce Maxwell, but Maxwell laid it right to Chad Pender, and it was a perfect throw. Breaking ball, and actually Maxwell turned, but what a perfect throw, and he has thrown extremely well in the season.
So 2 outs now in the count 1-1. And that one is hit high and deep to left field. Joyce going back. Joyce is going to run out of room. Another home run for the Rays. They've hit 4 tonight, and they lead 4-1.
So he misses a swing, a pitch on a hit and run, then gets a hanging slider and hits a home run. Former Athletic shortstop. Couple of hits tonight with the walk. Could not get the third out to keep it a 2-run game.
So that is his 6th home run of the year.
There it is. Just floated, and there's your breaking ball, middle of the plate, a hanger, crushed it. A grand slam in Anaheim, about the same distance, same type of pitch.
For Dahl, that's the 3rd home run he has allowed in 13 2/3 innings. On the steps.
Yep, a no doubter.
Good slider there to Carlos Gomez. Boy, any run at this point in the game is huge.
That's right.
So it's now a 4-1 lead. Well, in the 9th inning, in the bottom of the 9th, it'll be Olson, Piscotty, and Joyce. A couple of left-handed hitters, also Maxwell after that. So 3 out of 4 left-handed hitters, but Romo still warming up. Romo generally comes in at his best against right-handed hitters.
Think he'll throw some sliders, regardless who's in there.
Gomez tonight is 0 for 2. He walked in the 4th. He was robbed of a hit by Matt Chapman. Had a good swing that time.
Go to StatCast here, get some numbers on that bomb there by Daniel Robertson. Just under 100 miles an hour off the bat. If you're rounding up, you can get the century mark. 39-degree launch angle as well, right at the peak. Remember, we're talking 19 to 39 degrees optimal launch angle for that home run.
See, I knew that, Dallas. That's what I've learned. 39 is very good.
That's right. 19 to 39 degrees. 39 degrees, 40 degrees off the bat. We're talking moonshots.
All right.
Yeah, but under 100 miles an hour exit velocity.
Yeah.
So good.
Come on. Trout's at 116.
Judge is about that too.
Right in the middle of the diamond. And it's going to be Marcus Semien who grabs it. So Robertson with a home run. And looks like Romo's coming in 4-1, the Rays lead.
Drives of the game with 2 outs. This is home run number 1. A line drive, Crone. Home run number 2, Joey Wendell to right field. Home run number 3, Wilson Ramos to right field. Back to back to back. And to top it all off, at the top of this inning, Robertson with a solo home run. So 4 solo home runs for the Tampa Bay Rays, and they lead now 4-1. Sergio Romeo in the game.
So when it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your trusted oil change, tune-up, and repair expert. So Romo does not have a save this year. He's 0 for 3 in save opportunities. High ERA, but as always, lots of strikeouts. 28 strikeouts in 20 1/3 innings. As he'll face Olsen, Piscotty, Joyce, and hopefully more. Throughout his career, though, Romo has been much more effective against right-handed hitters. He's struggled at times against left-handed hitters. So see if that helps the Athletics.
The lefty's hitting 360 against Romo this year. 9 for 25 with a long ball.
And he falls behind in the count 2-0.
Let's just hope that extra run at the top of the ninth doesn't come back to bite the A's.
2-0 pitch is ripped to right field, and that's a base hit.
That's a cookie left up in the zone.
Well, it's interesting, Ray. Alvarado, the hard-throwing left-hander, was warming up last inning. And here with the game on the line and a couple of lefties coming up this inning, I'm surprised he is not in the game.
And you know, yesterday, and talking to Andy and Dave on the radio side, I said about the closer, it said yesterday was the first time since the Colomé trade that they had a save opportunity. That's not been that long ago. But they thought, they kind of mentioned Alvarado, that he would be their closer.
That is a fair ball down the left field line by Stephen Piscotty. It's picked up in the corner by Field. The A's have second and third and nobody out.
We talked about this lineup showing perseverance, not giving up. Stephen Piscotty steps to the plate, knows what he's getting out of Romo. You're going to get a slider. Not a matter of if, just a matter of when. Picks one out early, gets the foot down, tops this ball, but down the line, Duffy unable to come up with the play. Matt Olson got them getaway sticks going. He goes first to third. Piscotti at second. Green and gold are cooking with gas here. 2 on, nobody out.
And the hitter is Matt Joyce. Maxwell is the on-deck hitter. So Romo has thrown 4 pitches, and the A's have second and third.
And how sweet would it be if the A's were only down 3-1?
A's numbers in this series. It's been frustrating. First pitch to Joyce, swing and a miss.
And again, go back to Friday and hate to repeat it, but that's combined 1 for 26. 1 for 13 against D-backs. So far this series, you see the 0 for 13.
I'll tell you, I like this matchup right here. Romo's going to try to throw a frisbee to Matt Joyce. I got him getting it down on time. Sergio Romo, it's about trying to stay 1 pitch ahead of guys. Nothing going to overpower you.
Took something off, and he'll do that quite a bit to left-handed hitters. So he's going to go for a walk. 1-2 the count to Matt Joyce. Full shift on. 1-2 pitch. Hit hard. Robertson charges. He's the shortstop, but he was playing over in that spot with the shift on. So Joyce is retired. Olsen scores to make it 4-2. Robertson come charging in. Sometimes guys don't want to field that ball on the grass, and it's a little wet out. It's probably a pretty good move by Robertson.
Well, he's a pretty good infielder. That's why him charging, of course, this very strong arm. See that right there, that ground ball by Matt Joyce, if that had occurred last inning, that could have been huge also. That was the productive out the A's were looking for last inning, and now they just have to keep this going. Bruce Maxwell, another lefty.
On deck is Marcus Semien. 1-0 pitch to Maxwell. That drops down and away, 2-0.
There's one thing Bruce Maxwell can do. He can hit the ball out of the park to any field. Pops everywhere.
2-0 pitch, a slider low, 3-0.
So as Romo starts to nibble and nitpick, trying to get himself back in the count. Could be dangerous.
Maxwell is 0 for 3, reached on an error, scored a run in the third. 3-0 pitch is a strike on the outside corner. 79 miles an hour.
Slider 3-0. Well, that's his best pitch, so not surprising that he would go with it.
That one's hit hard to first. It's going to get a run home, but it's also going to be the second out. So Maxwell, he got that slider. He hit it very hard, but it was right at Brad Miller.
Well, again, not a matter of if, just when. Gets the slider, trying to go back door. This one starts to go more towards the back foot, which is a nitro zone for lefties, especially the big lefty Bruce Maxwell. Just missed enough of the barrel, did Romo.
So 2 away. Here is Marcus Semien. The first pitch, a slider, spins on the inside corner for a strike. Oh for 3 with a walk for Marcus Semien. Went with a fastball, and that's it. That's what you're going to get, 86 miles an hour.
Yeah. And really, it's a waste.
Yep.
It's a waste pitch. He's not trying to throw for a strike, and he knows his capabilities, his limitations, and
there's the slider, and it's fouled right side. Marcus is just looking for a hanger. Chapman would be next. Full shift on with Joey Wendell, the second baseman, playing right behind second base. 1-2 pitch, here it is. And a good take by Marcus.
And you know, you said it, Kuip, with an 86-mile-an-hour fastball, there's no reason to look fastball. You might as well sit back, look slider, and don't swing at his pitcher's pitch. It's unfortunately what happens. Right-handers, they swing at a pitch that's not even close to being a strike.
Pitch, here it is, and that one is belted down the left field line. It is foul. He hung a slider.
Well, the hanging slider, it stayed on the inner half of the plate and just did really much of nothing. And that close, of course, it does go in front of the foul pole, which plenty of distance. Marcus knew it.
So another 2-2.
He's going another slider too. Now fastball in.
It's foul back.
You see Ramos move inside. That's not location for a slider. He doesn't want to hang another one in there. And ideally, he wants to throw the slider outside far enough that it's a swing, flailing at the pitch.
Fastball just a bit high, and now it's a full count.
If he doesn't throw a slider now, there's something wrong. Chapman would love to have an opportunity.
Pop up and reach the seats.
The cap is, if there's ever a confidence boost for a pitcher, it's right now because there's nobody warming in the bullpen.
Nope.
It's all Romo. Kevin Cash, the manager, staying with the veteran. There is an empty, or at least a quiet bullpen.
3-2 pitch. Queued up the middle. Wendell's got it. He fires to first, and that's the ball game. So the A's battle back. They score a couple times here in the ninth, but they come up short, and another frustrating night offensively for the Athletics. And the Rays have won the first two games of this series. Time of game tonight was 2 hours and 55 minutes. The attendance, 7,521. Final score, the Tampa Bay Rays over the Oakland A's, 4-3. Time now for Brody Brazil. It's A's post-game live. Brody, it's all yours, buddy.